How's it going, everyone? Your boy Corey, aka Crasher, here with the new video, and ladies and gentlemen, we're back once again to discuss yet another instance of what happens when you have someone with entitlement issues sabotaging a customer's food order because you didn't get tipped before the service was complete. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. What we got going on here is this. DoorDash driver throws non-tipping customer's order on floor and blasts it with cold air. A DoorDash driver left viewers divided on TikTok after throwing a non-tipping customer's order on the floor and deliberately making it cold. In a viral video with 335,000 views, a content creator on the DoorDash Chronicles account filmed himself handling an order from a customer who didn't tip. The DoorDash driver is in a car delivering an order sitting in the passenger seat. Every once in a while, just for kicks, I like to pick up someone's order who didn't want to tip, he began, and this is how it goes. The driver then tossed a plastic bag carrying food to the floor in front of the passenger seat. He then turned up the air conditioning and directed it to the floor vents to cool down the order. "Enjoy, motherfucker," he said, with the on-screen caption writing, "When I'm bored, I like to play with these cheapskates." Already, I have got a fair bit to say about this shit. So number one, I gotta congratulate you there, jackass, for further soiling the reputation of good delivery drivers that don't pull this shit. But when you post this type of stuff online, you're already going to be gaslighting a lot of people into thinking, oh my god, are delivery drivers really like this? Like, holy shit, maybe I shouldn't order delivery. And number two, has it ever occurred to you that maybe, just maybe, you might not know the story of the customer you're delivering the food to? Maybe all they can afford is literally the price of that order and nothing more. Now, personally speaking, if I was in that position, I would want to refrain from doing something expensive such as ordering food, and I would want to maybe save my food money for when good deals come when it comes to grocery spending. And number three, here's another thing that you ought to think about. It's a little bit interesting and weird how we have ourselves tipping before the service is complete. Now, being a traditionalist myself, I choose to tip after the service is complete. And I do generous tips. I do a minimum of like 15, 20%, 25 if I really love your service and all that stuff. But you see, the big difference is I do it after the service is concluded. How do I know that if I was to tip you before the service is concluded, how do I know that you're going to give me good tip-worthy service? I mean, you could give me great service for all I know, and I would tip you generously. But if you're going to give me shit service and I have to tip you in order to not incur your wrath, well, that just seems like a really ass-backwards way of doing things, don't you think? In the comments, many TikTok users informed the driver that they wait until the order is delivered before tipping. This is so silly to me. Tipping should be after a good service, not before, in hopes that someone does their job well, one user wrote. Amen to that. Like, that right there is something that is so straightforward, and honestly, this is something that should be a thing, like, regardless of how you do service. I mean, to expect a tip before the service is complete? Nah, fam, that's not how I roll. I mean, I know I might be a bit of a boomer in saying that, and being a bit of a boomer by being old school and traditional, but that's just how it is, you know? That's how we should tip people based on the completion of the service and how it was handled. Dude, some of us wait to see how you do so we can tip you well if you do well, another said. Again, I agree. Others suggested that the customer might have been a cash tipper. How do you know they weren't going to tip you in cash at delivery, one questioned. And that's just it, you know? Like, if you were to deliver food to me and the service was good in my opinion, I would tip you very generously, you know? And you know what? Like, when you're pulling shit like this, you really don't make me want to tip you very generously, especially with actions of sabotaging orders, the entitlement culture that radiates from people like you. Like, my god, that shit is just fucking nauseating, you know what I'm saying? Nah, because I always tip them cash, they probably think they aren't getting a tip, and if they treat my food like this, another commented. The DoorDash driver replied, saying the customer didn't tip cash. He stood on his front steps confused when he saw his bag sitting on the sidewalk and not his door. This is just the latest DoorDash-related moment to take TikTok by storm. Last week, a driver sparked a debate after giving a non-tipping customer's food away, which, by the way, we covered. Do check that video out. But you see, that right there just adds another layer as to why people like that don't deserve tips, especially before the service was completed. Like, the fact that you just left the bag sitting on the sidewalk where it could be open season in that moment for anyone that's passing by to run and snatch that order. Like, the fact that you actually think that you deserve a tip after shit service like that, you really need to get a reality check, my guy. Like, I'm not trying to be a dick or anything, but the fact that you're being a dick to customers like that, I mean, like, what else do you want us to say? Like, that you deserve all the tips in the world for bullshit like that? Hell no. Work for your tips, man. But with that said, guys, those are just my own thoughts and opinions. What do you guys think about what we talked about here? Do you agree or do you disagree? Either way, I love to hear you guys out in the comments down below. Thank you guys very much for watching. Thank you for your time as well in viewing this video. Have yourself a damn good one, you beautiful people, and I'll see you next time.